Welcome to First Church of Religious Science. It's always a pleasure to be here and to experience everyone. Everyone. This is such a beautiful day because there's a lot of wet sunshine, and I'm reminded that something wonderful always happens on a rainy day. So we'll wait and see what the wonderful thing is. But before I do anything, we always do a treatment for ourselves, those of us who are here, the ministers of the church, Reverend Atkinson and the other ministers, and for those who work in this vicinity. Also for New York City and everything that is happening, the excitement of Christmas. So let us take a moment and turn quietly within. And if you feel like, you can take a deep breath so that you can relax and let go and experience yourself. Knowing, believing, and accepting that there is only one presence, one power, one life, and one activity, and that is the presence of God. It is that God presence within us that brought us here this evening so that we can commune with each other, experience each other, and most of all, experience ourselves. So the life and the energy of spirit that is within us, that is always moving us upward and forward into higher states of consciousness, we are realizing in this season of merriment, happiness, and joy, we are one with it and we feel it, for it is an expression of the one life. It is saying joy is in the air, happiness is in the air, and all that is around us, we experience it. We take time to release any thoughts of lack or limitation, any sense of fear, anything that might have disturbed you during this day. You release it and let it go. And you continue to know that this divine presence and power within you is forever doing its work through you and allowing you to experience the goodness that is yours to experience right here and right now. This is the word released in law. The law of mind accepts it. It is done, and so it is. All right, welcome again to this beautiful place. You know, it's a marvelous place. Gee, if I was short enough, I'm shorter now, but I'm happy. The first thing I will do, I'm going to do our announcement and get it out of the way. All right? Now, this Sunday is December 25th. That is Christmas Day. And we are celebrating the season of giving. Reverend Atkinson would conclude on this Sunday, the season of giving. The celebrating the spirit of Christmas. That is what we'd be doing. Celebrating the spirit of Christmas. The church building will be closed on Monday, December 26th. But our noon meeting will continue from 12:10 to 12:50 so it would be Tuesday to Friday. Next Wednesday evening, December 28th, from 6 to 6:15, Miss Vivian Marie Morder would be the person who would be conducting the meeting. Now remember, outside we have our Sacred Sunday, our DVDs, the emails, the Creative Thought, the Science of Mind, and SOM 102 would be 2 weeks. So those of you who are in class, that is your vacation, okay? All right. I took some time to think about this day. You know, today was the first day of what? Anybody know? What? Hanukkah, right. First day it begins, and there's something about, I notice a lot of people in the subway and on the street, they're already celebrating. But what is marvelous about Christmas time for me, the lights, the music, the carols, the faces of people. And everybody seems so happy and joyous, regardless of what has transpired for the last few weeks, right? So I took a little time to prepare for my Christmas day, which is Sunday. I won't tell you what I prepared, but whatever it is, if I would have friends coming over to my house, they will have something very delicious to eat. I did not wrap any presents because I did not buy any presents. So I'm letting my friends know. All right, but this is really the time of the year where, regardless of what is happening, people tend to give. I was reading an article, and it reminded me of some of the people who gave. I wrote it down here. All right, the question is, do you know that Ralph Waldo Emerson, we know him because we study him. He financially supported Henry David Thoreau his entire life because he believed that Thoreau should have that quiet time and the pristine life, what a life, pristine life in nature, which he craved. Emerson wanted to be like Thoreau, enjoying that, but he couldn't. He had his work to do. So he supported him completely during the time he was in the woods, and out of his studying and resting with nature, he wrote Walden Pond. I thought I read that a long time ago, but I can't remember what it is. I'm sure it has to be nice. Also, I found out that Eleanor Roosevelt, you know who she was, right? Sent checks to many of the students in her time. And she sent it, and most of the time the students did not know where it came from. There were no strings attached. She kept sending it so that they can continue their studies. It is wonderful to be a recipient of that kind of gift. But remember, as we deal with Spirit or God, He's forever giving to us, and it is the nature of each individual to reciprocate. Any human being seeing the need of another, you have a tendency to help as long as it is possible for you to do that. You do it with no strings attached. And we notice in this present day, sometimes if you spend time listening to television, news, or so, throughout this entire America, I'd say the United States, people have formed groups where they take care of other people. They have sacrificed their time, their money substance to make other people happy. So in thinking about Christmas and all the activity, there were three words that really stayed with me. It was life, love, You guess what the other one is? Yeah? Gift? No. All there is all else. It was life. It was love. Huh? Light. Now, life is the energy of spirit that brought us here today. We recognize that life as we use it, and we use it constantly. We are reminded, as those of us who are, I think all of you do your spiritual mind treatment, but Dr. Parker reminded us that every day we must do 2 treatments, if we don't do any other, is treat for perfect health, and the next one for prosperity. Anybody treated for perfect health this morning? Don't put your hand up. And the reason you treat for perfect health, what you are doing, you're recognizing the life energy within you, which is the Spirit of God in you. That is the wisdom and the intelligence that you use, and you're able to use it because you're consciously aware you are divinely connected with the source. In the Science of Mind, the magazine, there's something written about giving, the giving of the self to the self. And as I read it, I picked out the first word, love. The love manifests through our gifts to each other. So that's the love again. Because we love so much, and it is because God is loving so much through us, we are able to do what we need to do, because it is a loving energy of spirit that guides us to do or give gifts or do things for other people. So we can say safely that the hands of the eternal are outstretched through our hands, because we know that God has no hands, but your hand, my hand. So it's a blessing when you have a gift and you give it. In consciousness, you must be aware that there is a divine presence within you that is working through you and doing whatever is needed and necessary to maintain and sustain another. The other person or individual that you assist, guess what? Is part of the extended family of spirit. And the heart of the infinite beats in the human breast. So therefore, when you give your gifts, you realize that you are doing or you're performing an act that allows you to communicate with the other. It is not in lavish gifts. You know, there are some people who have to go out. If you bought them a gift, the next time you see them, they buy you a bigger gift. That's not the idea. The idea is you may see something that was very simple, inexpensive, one would say, but serviceable, and something that your friend or your neighbor would enjoy. In the sweet simplicity of remembering who you need to give a gift to, sometimes the person you select may not be a relative or friend, but it may be someone that you're moved to give a gift. Last evening I was here and I had an appointment with my doctor for 3 o'clock. I had called the day before and they said to me, "Oh, Theodora, you have you have an appointment for 3." Ooh. And I knew I had an appointment here. So I said, how am I going to work it out? But usually when I go to him, they make me sit for an hour and a half. I couldn't tell them that because they wrote on my paper she was late, but he saw it, and they they took care of me, good care of me, and but it meant that because I was late, they had to be late. The people, the young ladies who work with him, and so I thanked them. And as I was walking out, I had the instinct, the feeling that I didn't bring them candies or I did not bring them gift. But a couple days ago, I went to the bank and I got a lot of money. Whoo, did you hear that? Uh-huh. And I took care. And they were so happy to. I said, go out and have some Chinese. And they were very happy. I left and I felt very good in the sense that something within me, and I know what it is, you know what it is, that reminded me that I should reciprocate. A spirit is always reminding us what we need to do. Um, I like to, now I spoke about love, yes? Light, yes? Light. If you travel on the Brooklyn Bridge or around that area, I don't know, I always seem to think this time of the year there are more lights than any other time. Have you ever looked at it in August or September? No, I never did. But everywhere you go, there are lights and lights and lights. And what is light? Um, Light is understanding, and we are speaking from our Science of Mind textbook. When an individual is illumined or understand the teaching, there's a great awareness that comes, and you say, yes, I understand. So some of the lights that we see, the people who put them up, they put them up in the sense that they want those who pass by to see there is no darkness. No darkness in us, and no darkness around us. There is only light. If you've seen pictures of saints or individuals listed in the Bible, you notice there's that light around them. And the light is really coming from within. For every cell in your body, there is a light. And when I say cell, when you think of circulation, with the blood circulating through you, you will find there is that light. All right. And there are some things in Christmas that you never seem to forget. And when things happen around a particular season like Christmas, we tend to remember it every time a Christmas comes around. So I am going to read a greeting that I once received a long, long time ago. And it says, I wish you enough. And in Science of Mind, we are always speaking about there's always enough. Whether it's money, substance, whether it's fruit, whether it's whatever it is, there's always enough. And the reason there's always enough, the Spirit has provided it for us, whether it's fruits or money. I like to think of the money part though. There's always enough. There is no scarcity. So don't go around this season and tell people you have no money. Just say, I have enough. So as during that time, I was at the airport and I overheard a father as he greeted his daughter, and she visited with him, and she was getting ready to leave. And he said to her, I love you and I wish you enough. The daughter replied, Dad, our life together has been more than enough. Your love is all I ever needed. I wish you enough too, Dad. So as they kissed and separated, the question you asked the father, why do you say that there's always enough? He said, well, that was a statement that the family always, as they greeted each other, they would say. So, yes, I had to ask him. So, forgive me for asking, but why is this a forever goodbye? Because he said, he spoke as though he was not going to see her anymore. And the old man said that she lived far away from him, and it took her a while, a long trip to get to him. And maybe the next time he will see her would be his funeral. So he's saying goodbye and wishing her once more, you have enough. The question you asked him was, why do you say it? He said, well, it was a statement we used in the family, and we feel that you have enough. And he decided to do the entire thing. He says, he shared the following as if he was reciting it from memory. I wish you enough, son, to keep your attitude bright. No matter how great a day may appear, I wish you enough rain to appreciate the sun evermore. I wish you enough happiness to keep your spirit alive and everlasting. I wish you enough pain so that even the smallest of joys in life may appear bigger. I wish you enough gain to satisfy your wanting. I wish you enough loss to appreciate all that you possess. I wish you enough hellos to get you through the final goodbye. Then he began to cry and walked away. They say it takes a minute to find a special person, an hour to appreciate them, a day to love them, but an entire lifetime to forget them. So my wish for all of you is that you have enough. Whatever it is in your life, you have enough. And that should give you a wonderful Christmas. I just want to put in something of I can't leave out Dr. Parker, because Dr. Parker was one of our teachers and he was one of the favorites. And he says, life for him. Remind us that your life is all that you really have. Did you know that? Mm-hmm. So in other words, you should take good care of it. Your years on this planet are your most priceless possessions. The only security you have in this world is that the handling of your own thoughts. The handling of your own thoughts. So whatever you have in mind, make sure that you check those feelings, especially those thoughts with the feeling. Make it be happy thoughts, joyous thoughts, and move away completely from any negative thoughts and feelings of the past. You waste no time in the past, because yesterday ended last night. Remember that there is a God presence within you. Recognize that God presence. And remember that you are responsible for directing it. So take time to direct it, and you direct it through your thoughts and feelings. Jesus, and that is like the Christmas time, is his birthday. He always reminded us that the kingdom of God is within us. And the kingdom has every treasure and everything that we would ever need. So I have to say, I know what I want in my life. I do. I am going to believe, and I'm believing that I have it. I have a good life, a joyous life, because of each and every one of you, because you're part of my consciousness. So my love for all and everyone is have the best Christmas you've ever had. Don't be concerned about family, friends, if they're not around, but for you, let this be the sweetest, loveliest Christmas for you. And that is not being selfish, because I have news for you. That is what I would do. Okay, we got it.